afternoon, Britain. Welcome to BBC News School Report. I'm Ashante.
And I'm Shkita.
Breaking news. The Queen has given royal assent to the bill Brexit, meaning Britain will be leaving the EU.
Toyota has just announced it will be investing £200 million for an upgrade in UK factories. The new £1 coin will be released next month. There will be more on that later with Andy.
English club for years 7, 8 and 9 students will be starting next week. These will be run by WA sixth formers. So what do you need to know about the end of the round pound?
The round pound day after Andy.
Thanks, Shkita and Ashante. And now I'm going to be speaking about the new £1 coin and some stuff which I knew about it. So now, the £1 coin will have 12 edges going around it, and it will also have a hologram on it. So when you look at it from one angle, you will see the sterling sign, and when you look at it from another angle, you will see the number 1. The design for the tails has been made by a schoolboy called David Pearce, who has designed it in 2015. Thanks. Now here we go to my interview with Mr. Phillips. Here I'm joined with Mr. Phillips, and I'm going to be asking him some questions about the new £1 coin. What do you think about the new £1 coin?
I just heard about it actually, but it's necessary because I think there's a lot of counterfeits out there now.
Do you think it's a good idea to change it, and why?
Well, yeah, because once the currency, if people start making copies, and it's easy for them to make copies, then we won't want to use the currency because we don't trust it. So obviously something needs to be done.
And do you think the current £1 coin will be worth more in the future?
No, there were quite a lot made. So, you know, people collect coins as well, so don't bank on your £1 coins making you money in the future.
And what do you think about the current status of the British sterling?
Well, the currency has been devalued, partly due to people panicking about us leaving Europe. But on the upside, any business that makes or sells products and sells them abroad is going to be able to be more competitive because they're going to be cheaper. On the downside, I think a lot of people are going to have to think about where they're going on holiday this summer because Europe and America is now a lot more expensive to visit when you get there. So, you know, everything has a plus and a minus.
Right, thank you.
No problem.
Now with the weather.
Jeanette, take it away.
Thank you, Ashanti and Scooter. Welcome to today's weather report. Londoners are quite lucky today as there will be sunshine throughout the whole day and towards the south. It's slightly warm though, with double-digit temperatures, and throughout the north, clouds hit the Midlands all the way up to Scotland. As for Manchester, we should be expecting some heavy rain today, so make sure you pack your umbrellas today. Up in the north of Edinburgh, there's some light showers, but don't expect it to be that bad. There should be sunshine throughout the whole day today. And as for London, the spring weather is blossoming. We have a sunshine throughout the whole month, but there's heavy clouds in the afternoon. But hopefully the weather gets better for Mother's Day next week. Now back to the studio.
Ashante, how do you feel about Scotland leaving the UK?
I feel that they shouldn't because it will drastically change our economy. Off to Sarah report.
Strong statements are delivered by Theresa May towards the SNP, who are calling for Scottish independence and therefore completely leaving the United Kingdom. Hello, Ms. Liddell. How do you feel about Scotland becoming independent? Do you think this is something that should happen?
I think I'm torn, to be honest. I can see a strong case in support of Scotland having independence. I think that there is still issues surrounding the north-south divide and how the dominant power is in the south, and we dictate how other parts of the country should be spending their money. And I think that's something that's really difficult for people in the north to live by. So in that aspect, I can definitely see why Scotland would want to take independence, and it would give them control of the resources that they have available to them, and it would allow them to make decisions that would maybe have their interests at heart as opposed to having to think about the UK as a whole. But the alternative is that if we start with Scotland taking independence, then Northern Ireland might, and then Wales, and so then we've suddenly, the UK no longer exists and we're actually 4 completely disbanded countries. So yeah, I'm on the fence, I think is the best thing to say.
New iPhone is set to be released in September this year, and Apple has yet to comment on this reveal. The biggest change we're expecting to see from the iPhone 8 is a massive ramping up of the handset screen to body ratio. That ratio describes how much of the phone's front is occupied by display, and having an all-screen front is the next big trend for smartphones.
Apple is expected to finally introduce OLED displays on the iPhone. It's a widely accepted theory, having been reported by the likes of Korea Herald, Nikki Bloomberg, The Wall Street Journal, and Tai Jeng-gu, president of Sharp. Now for the Daily Sport.
Off to Taha.
This is BBC Sports, and it is Champions League heartbreak for Manchester City as they exited the competition in the last 16 knockout phase against Monaco on away goals. Manchester City won the first leg 5-3, however, they could not repeat that in Monaco, losing 3-1. They're the first team in the Champions League history to not get knocked out at this stage after scoring 5 goals in the first leg. Leicester City are amazingly the only English team left in the Champions League. They beat Sevilla 3-2 on aggregate. Arsenal, on the other hand, crashed out of the competition in embarrassment, losing 10-2 to Bayern Munich on aggregate. We have also just found out that Middlesbrough have sacked their manager, Aitor Karanka, after 3.5 years in charge. Middlesbrough currently sit 18th in the Premier League with just 22 points. They are winless in their last 10 games and have only managed to score 19 goals this whole season. After the sacking, Aitor Karanka came out to say, "This club will always hold a special place in me." Assistant head coach Steve Agnew will prepare Middlesbrough for their clash against Manchester United on Sunday. That's it for today's news. Have a good day.
Ashanti, have you seen the goldfish in the wheelchair?
Oh yeah, I saw on Instagram. Check it out online at BBC News.
That's it for BBC News School Report at Westminster Academy.
Catch you later at 8 on BBC One.